So I welcome you all. And today's session, like what we have planned, this is ACE membership, and ACE membership is like 200 per month, and we conduct 4 sessions for teachers, which is based on skill development, professional development, and personal development. At the end of the course, it would be like we wish to hone up the leadership skill of each and every educator with us. Okay. And I have taken different kinds of sessions. Like last time it was technicals based on teachers, educators being tech savvy, and this week I've taken a very interesting session on book reading. So it will be about, as we do not read a lot of books and we don't find time, so it's nice to have a book review session. Every month I have planned one book review session so that you can update yourself and be prepared as a leader and as an educator. So the host, like the presenter for today is Pooja ma'am. I would like to just introduce her to all of you. Uh, Pooja ma'am has a life dedicated to learners and the educators. She is a graduate from Delhi University and a postgraduate in English literature and education. She is also an English language trainer from the Cambridge University with over 28 years of experience in the field of education. She has committed herself towards improving the day-to-day classroom experiences. She is a principal of the High Range School in Kerala, a 36-year-old school run by the Tatas for the children of the tea plantation workers. She is also a teacher trainer, and a forte is to bring new meanings and joy to teaching experiences. She is a recipient of numerous awards and paves the way to innovative practices and pedagogical developments. She indeed is a resource and a power-packed woman, I should say, and a great friend of mine too. Pooja ma'am, welcome you on behalf of ACE Academy and all ACE members. I welcome you to this session.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sina. A warm good morning to all the educators present in the ACE Academy. It's actually a little overwhelming for me to present this book review in front of such great educators from all over region of the country. And when Dr. Sina actually asked me to take a session, I was wondering why Dr. Sina, herself a great presenter, asking me to do this kind of a thing. But when she said that let's do a book review, and the reason she cited was that we as teachers or as principals are so busy with our day-to-day lives that it becomes really very difficult to pick up a book and start reading, because our day is actually categorized into two parts, home and school. And when the home work is done, then the school work starts. Where is the time to read books actually? But as they say, where there's a will, there's a way. Book reading is not only a matter of hobby and pleasure, book reading is also a life-changing experience. See, there are times when you look for answers in life and you don't get those answers from your family members or from your friends. Sometimes when you read a particular book on a topic, you search for the answers there and you find those answers, because it's a deep introspection into somebody else's life's journey, all the trials and tribulations which other people go through, and they write it down on those white pages. And then you read those white pages and think that, oh yeah, it happened with me too. And then you maybe find a solution, or you find that somewhere around there, there is the answer to the questions which you were looking for. I, as a person, am quite daunted by the size of the book, to be honest with you. When I go to the library to search for a book, if the book is thick and voluminous, I shudder opening it and reading it. But the book which I'm going to talk about today can be really called a pocket book. It's a book with only, I would say, 32 pages. And this book was published in the year 1998. And this book is about change. And who would know change better than the current generation of people who are seeing so much change happening around us? Kind of, we all are overwhelmed by this change. We never anticipated this change. We were not ready for this change. We don't know when this will end or whether this will end also. So this book is really a book to be read right now, currently. And this book, believe you me, is going to change our thoughts, our perspectives, our attitudes towards change. The other good part about this book would be that it's a story. It's a simple story in few pages, light-hearted, short parable about change. And it is for people who have to deal with a lot of changes in their lives. The changes could be in your workplace, in your organization. It could be in your family, at home. It could be the changes which are happening in the world around us. And if you've ever been the one who's overwhelmed by all these changes, read this book. It's a beloved book for millions, and it is a best-selling business book of all times. It's engaging, has a brilliant narrative, and it's brief. This book is called Who Moved My Cheese? It's written by Spencer Johnson. And let me share the screen with you now to show you more about this book. Is the screen visible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, it's visible.
Wonderful, wonderful. So this book is about Who Moved My Cheese, written by Dr. Spencer Johnson. And it was first published in the year 1998 on the 8th of September. And it's a book to deal with changes in your work and in your life. This book has sold more than 26 million copies worldwide. In 37 languages it has been translated and still remains one of the best-selling business books. In fact, for all the new recruits who join a business organization, this book is often gifted to them. You know, in a college reunion, one friend begins to tell a story of who moved my cheese. The author describes symbolically the manner in which so many people in this world deal with changes in their lives. 4 typical reactions happen to those changes. There are 2 characters, 2 mice, and 2 little people. So in this book, there are 4 characters. 2 of them are mice and 2 are called little people. And they are always hunting for cheese. They live in their own respective houses, and adjacent to their houses, there's a maze, M-A-Z-E, maze. And in one of the maze, they find a cheese station, which is called Cheese Station C. And there they find loads and loads of cheese, and they are very happy with their lives. The 2 mice names are Sniff and Scurry, and the 2 little people are the human metaphor called Hem and Haw. The names of the little people are taken from the phrase hem and haw, which is a term for indecisiveness. Like we humans, we are not able to make up our minds. So we are always in a state of conflict, and so are the little people in the story. In this story, Hem is the stabilizer. He likes to stay where he is. He's secure, he feels safe, he's content, he's happy with wherever he is. Haw is the unifier. He tries to connect and unite people. He tries to join people. He tries to connect the dots. Scurry is the producer and Sniff is the innovator. Sniff is the one who would smell the cheese and ask Scurry to move on, move forward. So Scurry would scurry forward, jump forward and go for it. Sniff will detect the change early. He will sniff and he would know there's some change, some shift happening. Scurry is the one who takes quick action. He's the one who says, come on, let's do it. Then Haw is the one who adopts the change with time. He analyzes, he understands there's a need for change. We've got to adapt, we've got to change for the better. And Hem is the one who resists the change. He keeps wondering throughout the book, you will find, who moved my cheese? He keeps saying, who moved my cheese? But the cheese actually never moved anywhere. It just got lesser and lesser and finally finished. Now, in real life, dear educators, maize this is all a metaphorical representation. In real life, cheese is something which you keep looking for. And what do we keep looking for? We keep looking for happiness. We keep looking for success. Where do we keep looking for happiness and success? In this very world. And this maze is this world. It's a place where you spend time looking for what you want. It could be your community. It could be your organization. And it could even be your relationships. In your relationships also, you keep looking for happiness. You keep looking for contentment. So, but they all are representative of a maze, wherein you really don't know the way out, but you have to find your way out. Sniff and Scurry are mice and parts of us which are instinctive. There is a Sniff, there is a Scurry, there is a Hem and Haw in all of us. Like Sniff and Scurry, we also have our instincts. But do we listen to our instincts? Then there are the little people who are complex, who are over-analytical about life, who keep thinking that we are the wise ones. We are the ones who think. We are the ones who would plan, and we end up over-planning sometimes. Sometimes we are like Sniff, who anticipates change by sniffing. Sometimes we are the Scurry, who quickly scurries into action and adapts. But sometimes we are Hem also, and we dismiss any change and we resist it. Haw, on the other hand, if you become Haw, you visualize a huge mound of cheese, which he finds eventually, called Bry. And this visualization of your success will lead you closer to your cheese. And also it will increase your confidence to search and renew your search all the time. We keep looking for cheese in our environment, cheese which is representative of happiness and success. Initially without cheese, each group, the mice and humans, paired off and traveled the lengthy corridors searching for cheese. And one day, both groups happen upon a cheese-filled corridor at cheese station C. Content with their find, the humans establish routines around their daily intake of cheese, slowly becoming arrogant in the process. So when both the parties find cheese station C, both of them start consuming the cheese in cheese station C. But the two mice, they keep from their homes when they reach cheese station C every morning, they keep their shoes in their necks, knowing fully well that in case there is trouble, they have to run back to their homes. But the human, the little people, they feel that this is it, this is life, and they take it very easy, and they start also feeling a sense of pride and ego that they have found such a huge cheese station, and now they have no other problem. This is the best thing that could happen to them. One of the important things which we learn in this book is that change happens. They keep moving the cheese. Now what happens in cheese station C is that eventually this cheese starts diminishing. And the mice discover that this cheese seems to be getting lesser and lesser, and one fine day, the mice and the little people discover there is no cheese left. So Sniff and Scurry, they start moving into the maze to search for a new cheese station. The Sniff would keep sniffing, searching for an outlet from one place to the other, and Scurry would move forward with it. Now, but Hem and Haw, they continued to go from their homes to the same cheese station, hoping that the cheese will somehow come back. And they would crib, they would fight, they would blame each other for what has happened. And then they would again go back empty stomach. And this happened for a number of days. Then suddenly, Haw felt that cheese is not going to come back. Cheese is going to remain. Cheese has finished. And he urges him to go out in the maze in search of that cheese. But Hem is skeptical, and he keeps getting angry at Haw and blames him for the fact that the cheese has moved away. And then he says that he will continue to wait for the cheese there itself. So in this, we find that change will happen. But the other part of our brain says, somebody has moved the cheese. We need to anticipate change. We need to get ready for the cheese to move, which means that if only, like the Sniff and Scurry, they also anticipated that there will be change, that the cheese is going to eventually dry up, they would have also ventured into the maze. But Hem and Haw was scared, so they kept sitting in cheese station C. Eventually, when Haw decided that the cheese is not coming back, he started his journey in the maze and kept venturing forward to find bits and pieces of cheese here and there, but never a big cheese station. Till he comes to a place called Cheese Station N. And in Cheese Station N, he finds a huge mound of cheese. When he's moving in this maze, he keeps writing these things on the wall of the maze. What I just showed you, that get ready for the cheese to move. These are the writings which he writes for his friend Hem, so that in case he dares to venture back into the maze, he should feel, he should feel encouraged. He should know that his older friend Haw came through these corridors and he should keep moving forward. Anticipate change. Get ready for the cheese to move, which means that we have to be ready that the changes in our life, happiness is also not going to stay with us forever. So is the sadness. Everything is temporary. Everything is inconsistent. So you have to keep getting ready for the cheese to move from our lives. Monitor change. See, Sniff and Scurry would smell the cheese every day. One of the learnings which they took from Cheese Station C to Cheese Station N was that once they came to Cheese Station N, they did not feel that this is the end of the world. They knew that even here, the cheese is going to dry up. So they kept on smelling cheese often. And so that you know that when the cheese is going to get older, the smell of the cheese is going to change. And that's the time you have to start your journey for the new cheese, for the new goals, for the new happinesses, for the new targets in your life. So that's what it means, that keep smelling that this cheese is also going to get over. This cheese is also going to diminish. And you have to restart, reignite your search for the new cheese. Adapt to change quickly. The quicker you let go of old cheese, the sooner you can enjoy these cheese, which means that, you have this, Johnson in the beginning of this book, he says that it will all be so easy if we had a map to the maze. What does it mean? If we had, when we were born, if we were given a roadmap to this life, that this is your life, this is going to be your roadmap, this is the path which you are going to take when you are 5 years old, when you're 10 years old, you're 15 years old. This is how your life will look like. Wouldn't it be so easy? In fact, in olden days, people used to, when a child was born, people would go to astrologers and fortune tellers to predict what kind of life the child is going to have. How easy it would be if our astrologers and fortune tellers could tell us that this is the roadmap to our life. But such a roadmap does not really exist. We all know that now. And life would have been so predictable if this map was there. Like him, we often feel if they would just stop moving the cheese, which means that what if I continue to remain where I am and life keeps getting better and better for me? What if I just remain content? I keep doing the same old things as I'm doing today and life keeps on giving me what it is supposed to give. What if I teach the way I teach in the classroom? I continue to teach the same way. Wouldn't it be fine? I'm not ready for this Herculean change which is coming up in my professional life. I'm not ready for these gadgets. I'm not good with the technology. This will get over. This corona is going to go very soon. We'll come back to normal next month, next to next month. What is this tendency in us? This is him tendency. We are not accepting that this change has come. We have to accept it. We have to visualize this and we have to move on in this maze. And then we have to find our new cheese stations in life. There is a detailed psychoanalysis of each character. When you read the book, through the pages, you will find what you will identify yourself with one of the characters. And you will also see that what happens to those characters when they remain where they are. So the mindset changes are something which we always have to adapt to quickly. We have to, and the quicker you let go of old cheese, that is your old habits, the sooner you can enjoy new cheese. This is very important. Now, they say not survival of the fittest, but survival of the quickest. If you want to enjoy the new cheese, the new gadgets, the new systems, the changes which are coming up in the society, if you want to really enjoy, have fun with it, play around with it, then you have to let go of your old cheese. The idea again is simple. Change, move with the cheese. Actually, the cheese did not go anywhere. You consumed it. Its life was only this much. Be aware. Be conscious from your past experiences, okay, that in cheese station C, the cheese got over. So it's only likely that in cheese station N, also the cheese is going to eventually get over. So you have to pull up your socks. You have to get ready for the next change, next change, next change. Ho will continue to inspect cheese station N daily and explore different parts of the maze regularly to prevent any complacency from setting in, which means that complacency is a big problem in us. We feel that this is our pattern of life and this is the pattern of life which will remain throughout. So we tend to get complacent. We really don't explore newer options, go to newer avenues. We really are timid when it comes to exploring adventures. We Indians, as it is, are very poor in terms of adventure because we have always lived a very secure life. Our parents also have kind of inculcated in us the sense of safety and security. Don't go out when it's dark. Travel safely. Call me up when you reach a place. These are so many patterns in our habits, in our lives that tell us that we have to be always safe, always secure, and we will not venture into adventure at all. We will not tread to the unknown territory. That's something which is very intrinsic in our culture. So, conscious from the past experience, we learned that you have to keep on inspecting your current situation. your current office, your current schools, your current homes, your current relationships, your family members, whether it's undergoing any transformation, are things changing or are they the same? And you also explore the world around. You have to explore, you have to inspect, you have to sniff and sense what is happening. It's just that this is how I work. This is how I do. Take it or leave it, my way or highway. No, that doesn't work anymore. You have to keep on inspecting different parts of the maze regularly so that in case any problem happens, you are ready for it. Like they say, failing to plan is planning to fail. Enjoy the change, savor the adventure, and enjoy the taste of the new cheese. Now, this is very important. Now, it's not that it's always an exam, a test, that you have to keep on exploring changes, you have to keep exploring new options. It's not like that. The idea is that let us enjoy this change which is happening around us, and let us savor the adventure. Let us try to be participative and not resistive when it comes to this changeover which is coming all across the world. Let us also enjoy the taste of new cheese, like a newer member in the family. If you have just got a daughter-in-law in the family, that daughter-in-law is, as it is, very nervous. She doesn't know the kind of change in the life settings, which are, I mean, she's totally out of tune. And the family members are totally out of tune with her. And they, both of them, first try to mold the other one into their frame of things. The family tries that the girl becomes part and parcel of their family, their culture. And the girl tries that her husband tries to change as per her tastes and her desires. And eventually comes a stage when the family and the girl all come up to a new equilibrium. And that is what change is. So they begin to accept this change. They begin to maybe savor and enjoy the change in the relationships. So change needs to be enjoyed. I'll tell you a personal experience. I'm from Delhi. And when this offer came that I have to join a school in Kerala, for me, it was a big shift. It was a big change, not only in terms of language, but also in terms of the latitude. I was actually crossing so many states and coming to the southernmost part of the South India. And it was a big leap for me. And I was really very skeptical in the beginning. And I didn't know whether my work will be accepted in these settings or not. It took me nights and nights of sleepless nights to actually make up my mind whether I should be joining this new setting, because I was very excited to work with the current organization. But it was a leap of faith, I have to confess. But it was worth every sleepless night. The reason is that this adventure gives you a new sense of confidence. It gives you a new sense of well-being. It kind of boosts your morale. So every once in a while, I think we have to tread into unknown territory. And I love doing that. And I enjoy the change which comes in me as a human, as a being, after that change has been dealt with. It gives you a new sense of completion. And that sense of completion remains for some time and should remain for some time, so that you savor it, you relish it, and you find slowly that now this is it. Now this is also getting older, and you have to also think of what next. How are we going to change? How are we going to develop ourselves? So enjoy the change while it lasts, but be ready for new changes in life. We have to be ready to change quickly and enjoy it again. It's not that they keep moving the cheese. Nobody moves the cheese. It's just that change happens. It's inevitable. So we people have to be ready to change quickly and enjoy it again. So that is the bottom line. Till the end, Hem keeps cribbing. Who moved my cheese? Who moved my cheese? I'm not moving anywhere. My cheese will come back. And the cheese never comes back to the same station. You have to move forward. So nobody moves the cheese for you. It just happens. And you have to be ready to understand, accept, and enjoy the new things which are happening in your lives. So did you all kind of understand a bit about the book?
Yeah, I think, Pooja ma'am, we request 2 or 3 of you can just give a little bit of feedback so that she is motivated to do it much better. And even on the chat box, they are expressing. Mridula ma'am has said very well expressed, can associate so well, yes, with what you are saying. Awesome review, ma'am. Excellent.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes,
I
right.
want to chat a lot with all of you, but before I do that, let us watch a small video, and then we'll get into full-time chatting after that. Is that okay?
Yes, yes. Thank you.
Once long ago in a land far away, there lived 4 little characters who ran through a maze looking for cheese to nourish them and make them happy.
Is this audible?
Yes, Pooja ma'am, it's audible.
Yes. Okay. Yes. I just wanted to learn that.
2 were mice named Snip and Scurry.
And 2 were little people named Hem and Haw.
As different as the mice and little people were, they shared one thing in common.
Every morning, they left their homes and raced out into the maze to find their favorite cheese.
Snip and Scurry had simple brains but good instincts. They used a simple
smell out the general direction of the cheese,
and Scurry would race ahead.
They often went off in the wrong direction and bumped into walls.
But Hem and Haw had complex brains with beliefs and emotions that made their life in the maze more complicated and challenging.
Finding cheese was important to the little people.
It was a way of getting what they thought they needed to be happy. For some, it was having material things. For others, it was health or peace of mind.
For Haw, cheese meant living in a cozy cottage with a loving family on Cheddar Lane.
To Hem, cheese meant being a big cheese in a mansion atop Camembert Hill.
Eventually, they all discovered their own kind of cheese in Cheese Station C.
Every morning after that, Snip and Scurry woke early each day and ran the same route through the maze to Cheese Station C. Snip and Scurry hung their running shoes around their necks in case they needed to get to them quickly.
But Hem and Haw awoke each day a little later and sauntered over to Cheese Station C.
After all, they knew where the cheese was and how to get there, and they assumed it would always be there.
Hem and Haw put their running shoes away. They thought they wouldn't be needing them again.
This is great! There's enough cheese here to last us forever! Sure is!
They felt secure. They even decorated the walls with sayings.
Hem and Haw became so comfortable they didn't notice what had been happening.
Meanwhile, Snip and Scurry inspected the area each morning to see if there had been any changes from the day before.
One morning, they arrived at Cheese Station C and discovered there was no cheese.
They weren't surprised, since they'd noticed the supply of cheese had been getting smaller.
The mice did not overanalyze things. The situation had changed, so Snip and Scurry changed.
They were soon off in search of new cheese.
Later that day, Hem and Haw arrived at Cheese Station C.
They had not been paying attention to the changes that had been taking place.
What? No cheese? No cheese? Who moved my cheese? It's not fair!
Hem, I know we're smarter than mice, but we're not acting like it at the moment. What'll happen if the cheese isn't here tomorrow? I've made plans based on this cheese.
While Snip and Scurry had moved on, Hem and Haw continued to hem and haw.
One night, Haw wrote on the wall,
"The more important cheese is to you, the more you want to hold on to it."
The next day, Ham and Haw still somehow expected to find their cheese in the same place.
Why did they do this to me?
Now, where are Sniff and Scurry? Do you think they know something we don't?
Nah, they're just simple mice. We're little people. We're entitled to our cheese.
Yeah, but maybe we should just simply get going and find some new cheese.
Oh, no. I'm gonna get to the bottom of this. I want things to be the way they were.
Meanwhile, Snip and Scurry moved further into the maze. They didn't think of anything else but finding new cheese.
After much trial and error, Sniff and Scurry found the biggest store of cheese they had ever seen at Cheese Station N.
Meanwhile, Hem and Haw were still hemming and hawing at empty Cheese Station C.
Then, Haw began to imagine himself out in the maze, finding fresh new cheese.
Before long, he could almost taste it.
Come on, Hem. Let's go.
No, I like it here. It's comfortable. Besides, it's real dangerous out there.
Haw imagined the worst. His hope of finding new cheese faded.
So every day, Ham and Haw went from their homes to Cheeseless Station C.
And returned home again with empty bellies, full of nothing but stress.
Who moved my cheese? Who moved my cheese? Who moved my
Ham,
cheese?
Ham, look at us. We keep doing the same things over and over and wonder why things don't get better. It's time to move on.
Well, you're not really going out into the maze again. Why don't we wait here until they put the cheese back?
You just don't get it. They're never going to put the old cheese back. That was yesterday's cheese. It's time to find new cheese.
Oh, but what if there's no cheese out there? Or what if you can't find it?
Ham, life moves on, and so should we.
No! Who moved my cheese? Who moved my cheese? Who moved my
If
cheese?
we
Who
don't
moved my cheese?
change, we could become extinct.
Like him, a part of Haw was afraid. Then Haw wrote on the wall what he had been thinking about.
What would you do if you weren't afraid?
It wasn't long before Haw knew what to do. Haw gathered all his courage and jogged into the unknown.
It's maze time!
At first, he felt lost. But it wasn't long before he began to find his way.
Being back in the maze isn't nearly as bad as I feared. How did I get into this situation? If I'd been watching what was happening,
Haw stopped to write on the maze wall what he was learning.
smell the cheese often so you know when it's getting old.
Haw hoped that these handwritings on the wall would not only be reminders to himself, but also a marked trail for him to follow if he chose to enter the maze.
Why do I?
Pooja ma'am, the video is, it got frozen, I think. You just have to stop it, and from in between you can start. Half the way through you can start it again. Half the way through.
Yeah, I'll share it. I'll start it again. No
Yes, yes. Not right from the beginning, just from in between.
I'll do that.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
in the same place.
Why did they do this to me?
Now, where are Sniff and Scurry?
is it fine?
Do you think they know something we don't?
Nah, they're just simple mice.
Perfect,
Little
perfect.
people. We're entitled to our cheese.
Yeah, but maybe we should just simply get going and find some new cheese.
Oh, no. I'm going to get to the bottom of this. I want things to be the way they were.
Meanwhile, Snip and Scurry moved further into the maze. They didn't think of anything else but finding new cheese.
After much trial and error, Sniff and Scurry found the biggest store of cheese they had ever seen at Cheese Station N.
Meanwhile, Hem and Haw were still hemming and hawing at empty Cheese Station C.
Then, Haw began to imagine himself out in the maze, finding fresh new cheese.
Before long, he could almost taste it.
Come on, Hem. Let's go.
No, I like it here. It's comfortable. Besides, it's real dangerous out there.
Haw imagined the worst. His hope of finding new cheese faded.
So every day, Hem and Haw went from their homes to cheeseless Station C.
And returned home again with empty bellies, full of nothing but stress.
Who moved my cheese? Who moved my cheese? Who moved my
Ham,
cheese?
Ham, look at us. We keep doing the same things over and over and wonder why things don't get better. It's time to move on.
Well, you're not really going out into the maze again. Why don't we wait here until they put the cheese back?
You just don't get it. They're never going to put the old cheese back. That was yesterday's cheese. It's time to find new cheese.
Oh, but what if there's no cheese out there? Or what if you can't find it?
Ham, life moves on, and so should we.
No! Who moved my cheese? Who moved my cheese? Who moved my
If
cheese?
we
Who
don't
moved my
change, we could become extinct.
Like him, a part of Haw was afraid. Then Haw wrote on the wall what he had been thinking about.
What would you do if you weren't afraid?
It wasn't long before Haw knew what to do. Haw gathered all his courage and jogged into the unknown.
It's maze time!
At first, he felt lost. But it wasn't long before he began to find his way.
Being back in the maze isn't nearly as bad as I feared. How did I get into this situation? I've been watching what was happening.
Haw stopped to write on the maze wall what he was learning.
Smell the cheese often so you know when it's getting old.
Haw hoped that these handwritings on the wall would not only be reminders to himself, but also a marked trail for Hem to follow if he chose to enter the maze.
Why do I feel so good? I don't have any cheese and I don't know where it is. Aha! When you move beyond your fear, you feel free.
The more clearly Haw imagined himself finding new cheese, the more real it became.
Imagining myself enjoying new cheese even before I find it leads me to it.
Finally, Haw arrived at a large cheese station.
But it was practically empty.
I'm too late. If I'd moved on sooner, I might have found a lot of new cheese here.
Haw did find several delicious morsels of new cheese.
It wasn't much, but enough to keep him going.
I've got to get back and tell Hem there's some new cheese out here.
Haw raced back to Cheese Station C, following the route he had marked.
He found his friends still hemming and hawing. Hem had not even put on his running shoes.
Oh, Hem, you look hungry. Here, have a few bits of new cheese.
I don't think I would like new cheese. I want my own cheese back. I'm sure if I wait here long enough, things will be the way they were.
Will Hem ever change?
Hem was left behind, hemmed in by fear, comfort, and denial.
I guess Hem believes he can't or won't enjoy new cheese. He seems to believe that if he ventures into the maze, things will get worse. I see now that if I do things differently, things will get better. When you change what you believe, you change what you do.
Haw found bits of cheese here and there and began to regain his strength. He had hoped that Hem might find his way by reading the handwriting on the wall.
Haw had let go of the past and was adapting to the present. He was pursuing new cheese.
And then it happened.
Piled high everywhere was the greatest supply of cheese he had ever seen.
Wow! New cheese! Is it real or just my imagination? It is real!
Haw realized that Snip and Scurry had been enjoying new cheese for quite a while. He vowed that next time he would change faster.
Haw knew it would be easy for him to slip back to his old ways if he got too comfortable.
So each day he inspected Cheese Station N to check the condition of his cheese.
He went out into the maze and explored new areas.
He knew it was safer to be aware of his real choices than to isolate himself in his comfort zone. Then one day, Haw heard what he thought was the sound of movement out in the maze.
Could it be Hem? Was Hem about to turn the corner?
Pa hoped that maybe at last his friend was finally able to
Move to the new cheese and enjoy it.
Can you read the handwriting on the wall? Change happens. They keep moving the cheese. Anticipate change. Smell the cheese often so you know when it's getting old. Adapt to change quickly. The quicker you let go of old cheese, the sooner you can enjoy new cheese. Enjoy change. Savor the adventure and enjoy the taste of new cheese. Be ready to change quickly and enjoy it again. They keep moving the cheese.
3 days. It's a festival for the business
That was
people.
really beautiful. A loud clap, clap. Let's all clap for the lovely
Let's have
video.
an, inspiring of each and every
Yes,
one
ma'am.
who have done a great
That was a lovely video.
Thank
Enjoyed
you.
it.
I really
So they
Enjoyed
keep
it.
moving the cheese in our life. What to do? Huh? How do we manage this?
presence here
Yes,
to
yes.
share their
It's vanishing somewhere.
for the
Yeah.
You know,
right.
both the channels.
I really like the two little people who are just like us.
Hard
Oh,
work is what it takes to be successful.
one second.
I know
I have
this
to.
sounds bad, but I think it's one of the
சொல்லுங்க.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that we humans are overcritical, over analytical. We plan every move of our life. When a baby is born, no, the day he's in the hospital, now my child is going to become a doctor. We already plan it, and then he's going to go to the best boarding school, to the best college, to the best, he's going to do this, that, or everything is mapped. But in the maze of life, you really don't know what's going to happen. Your cheese station might just finish off and you have to move on to another maze altogether. So I want all of you to kind of unmute yourself and talk about your cheese and your anticipations. Which one of the 4 characters you feel is closest to you and where do you want to go from there?
Teachers, come on, you can share it. Hello? You can share your experience.
Or maybe
Yeah.
your moment, when you
Yeah, yeah.
let
Yes,
go
yes.
of your fear and move on. You have to
Yeah,
be.
yeah.
Yeah, come
Yes,
on.
ma'am. I like to adopt the changes with time, ma'am. I used to take it as a challenge each and every moment. What are the changes are occurring in my life? I used to adopt that. I keep move on that. I'm very interested to be like her. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Wonderful session.
So when did you have a raw moment in your life?
Pardon, ma'am?
Did you ever have that raw moment when he decides to shed his fears and just move on? That feeling, dekha jayega. Dekhte hain kya hota hai. So
Yeah, marriage, ma'am. Next, after marriage, new job. So entering into new job, that is teaching job I was doing early after my completion of my bachelor degree. So though the gap was, and I was little bit low in communication level. So while entering the new job, I felt, but I adopted and I took as a challenge and really I work on that, and now I'm become a good teacher. Most of them are liking me, my teaching, and in my career I jumped in as first a second standard class teacher, and 6th standard and 8th standard, now 10th standard teacher.
wonderful. That's a great transformation.
Yeah, and I did B.Ed and after M.Ed, and I'm planning to do online academy. So many changes in my life, and I'm keep on moving on that, ma'am.
Lovely.
Because of my intrinsic motivation, I keep myself always motivate myself. I should do something. This is my motivation every day. Sometimes I used to keep excuse myself, though I should not do that, and myself I used to keep on moving on according to the situation. Thank you, ma'am. Thanks for the
Sangeeta, this is
opportunity.
such a lovely thought that which you've put across, that the motivation, if it is intrinsic, then you don't have to bother much about the external, environment to motivate you. We keep looking for some external source of motivation, some encouragement, some reward coming our way. And when it doesn't come, we kind of stagnate in life. When I talk to teachers also, I feel that some teachers feel they're so scared. Ma'am, I've never taught this subject. I've never been to this higher class. I've never done this. I said, there's always a first time in life. Do it. Exactly what will, maximum you will fail. You will not be accepted. Come back. There's nothing to lose. But at least you took the plunge. You remember the first ride on the first entry into the classroom after you finish your B.Ed, when you have those those classes, we'd never forget the first time you plunged into the swimming pool. That first time is, something so special to all of us. Anyone else who wants to share something?
Teachers, come on. Yeah, change. We are talking about change now. You have to change. You have to take the initiative and you have to change. We all are here to be leaders. Yes, the main objective of our, yes. Who's speaking?
Ma'am, may I?
Yes. Navya?
Mrudula, ma'am.
Yeah, Mrudula. Please, Mrudula, ma'am.
So I think I started as him.
Okay.
So I had my own inhibitions. I had worries. And I really didn't know how to take up this thing during COVID.
Okay.
Because suddenly from the four walls of the classroom, we switched over to virtual teaching. And my teachers were not prepared for it. So we actually, in the beginning, I thought I should resist the change or how to adjust. That worry was there. And I think my personality switched over to the next character, where I adopted to the change and accepted it. And now I am enjoying it.
Yes, absolutely.
Lovely. Great.
That's very good. Good. Clap.
So very good explanation. Very inspiring, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you, both, ma'am.
Thank you, Mridula. Thank you, Mridula, ma'am. Anybody else? Come on, speak up.
Ma'am, this is Navya speaking.
Navya, yes, Navya. Welcome, Navya.
Thank you, ma'am. Actually, I'm a person who would always look out for challenges in life. So if there is no challenge or if there is any risk, I would love to take that risk and experiment on it. So I have always been such a person. And the video shown, I felt like the maze was exactly our life. So the way, looking out for the way out of the maze is what keeps us going. So I took it like that. And I think just like how Mridula ma'am told us, these online classes were really fearful. When we started, of course, teachers were not ready for it. But then each and every day we motivated each other, and now I think they are doing an exemplary job. So challenges are something which keeps us going. So thank you, Pooja ma'am, for that wonderful review.
Pleasure. Challenges actually keep us going. If there were no challenges, life would really become so dull and monotonous.
Absolutely.
I think I just like this, there's one new phone called OnePlus. I bought it only because of its logo, Never Settle. Its brand logo is Never Settle. I love it so much. So I bought it only for that.
Hello, Pooja ma'am. Hello, Cinema. I want to say something.
Yes, Shalini, welcome, Shalini.
Thank you, ma. Pooja ma'am, do you understand Hindi?
She's from Delhi.
Okay. Once upon a time, ma'am, when I was a nursery teacher, before 22 years back, when I started my career as a nursery teacher, that time I thought I want to become a principal. So my all colleagues were laughing. कि आप कैसे प्रिंसिपल बनोगी? नर्सरी टीचर्स आर नॉट, वो बन ही नहीं सकती हैं प्रिंसिपल. But after my hard work, training, and my family support, right now I am a principal.
Oh, great.
And Cinema, You are a great person. Really. आप जब से मेरी life में आए हो ना, my life changed.
Oh, thank you, dear. Thank you. God bless.
She's the sniff in your life.
And my next, I want to become a director. My next cheese is I want to become a director.
Oh, Shalini, you will. Great.
One very interesting thing which has come here. I want to just draw in one more point. The word ambitious is seen with a lot of skepticism. It is not seen in a very good light, especially in the case of women. She's very ambitious. She's very demanding. These words are more, in our general setting, I would say it's not seen very well. बहुत ambitious है, बहुत demanding है. But in life, I think if you don't have an ambition, being ambitious is good. Being demanding from yourself is good. Having expectations from yourself and people around you is good. Only thing is you should have clarity of thought. You have to share the expectations with people around you. As leaders, you must share those goals, those expectations. And when everybody, it's like a sense of shared success. See, why does Haw keep coming back to the old cheese station to get his friend out?
Yes, absolutely.
That success alone would not be enjoyed, yeah.
And that's a beautiful part. That's a beautiful part of the story, That's beautiful. Yeah. This is where it teaches us how we can support each other in life. Right. Like, we can uplift each other. Like,
very important, Dr. Sina. What happens that, I was watching an interview of Indira Nooyi.
Yeah.
And one of the things when she was getting the award, she said, help others rise. And you must, and as educators, encourage other educators to rise, to develop. And I feel it's great if you can create one principal or one vice principal in your group. It's wonderful, Help others rise. Share
Ma'am, that's the objective of ACE Academy right now. So this is what we are trying to mold all our ACE members into leaders. So that is my vision. That's why I keep motivating them. I keep pushing them. Come on, let's do something different. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes. Good morning, Dr. Sina Deva.
Yes,
this is
sir.
Mohammad Wasulullah Khan.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I was going to say in between that, but I waited for you.
Yes.
Actually, to bring change, instead of saying to bring change, I would say to bring revolution. Only one person is required. And in education field, I see Dr. Sina Deva is that person. And I see that ACE Academy would, I have already mentioned you on a personal chat that this would be a great revolution in education field. And the change is a part of that. If we are not ready to change ourselves, we cannot bring the revolution if we want in education field or any other field. So I would say that yes, all the members of ACE Academy, I would request, and even we all are educationists, so we understand that how much it is important in our lives and to bring the change in our students and in our staffs also. So we should be ready, and I would say that there is one presentation, there is a PPT. I would say that if our ACE Academy members can see that, I would say, let me recall that which one, that the rebirth of Eagle. That is also a very good story if they can go ahead and see that PPT of rebirth of Eagle. That is also just related to change, that without change we cannot rebirth ourselves.
Yes.
So to bring a change in ourselves is like a rebirth. Thank you.
Good. Thank you,
Thanks,
sir.
Pooja.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mohammad Waziullah, sir. Mohammad Waziullah, sir, is from Mumbai. Yes, he's the academic director of group of schools there. Okay, so we're very proud to have him in our group here. Yes, over to you, Pooja, ma'am.
Oh no, I'm eager to the take from everyone else, because I want to hear about the change which you undertook in your lives. Because see, I can go on and on about analysis of the characters.
Hello.
How Hem and Haw, with their complex brains, they demonstrated more limitations, more anxieties than the simple mice. They set
Hello,
out.
Sina ma'am, can you hear?
Yeah, go ahead, ma'am, please.
Yeah, this is Swati Arora ma'am from Vidisha. Can you hear?
Yes, Swati, we can hear you.
1 second.
Yeah.
Swati Arora is the correspondent of Vidisha Group Schools at Bhopal. Yeah, he is from Vidisha Vatsalya Group Schools. Okay, so she's
Yeah,
the
ma'am. Thanks
yeah,
a lot.
and a great support always. She's one of our well-wishers.
She's
Welcome
from the
you,
heart
Swati.
of India.
Yeah, yeah.
Correct, ma'am, correct.
Yes,
But the
Swati, over
thing is,
to you.
yeah, ma'am, I feel all the 4 characters are within us. It's like all the 4 characters are within us, and that maze is the Pandora box. I feel like to reach that goal is the important part of life, I guess.
Beautifully
So
said.
yeah, and I guess the challenges are always there. We are struggling for those challenges, and it's a two-way process for me, I feel, because as a mother, I feel every day is a task to deal with a small kid. And as a working woman, I feel you should be a good leader who can deal very positively with your like colleagues who can support you. And this COVID-19 is actually given that support from our teachers who are like not exactly having that vision that we can do audiovisual classes, but we are doing it. So it's a challenge and it's a leadership quality I feel in the working area where the teachers are supporting, and it's only possible where you have a good vision in your life. So these things are
Absolutely.
really
Yes,
these
yes.
things are really important for a woman also. It's a two-way process. That's the reason I'm saying. And all the four characters are within us. And it's just we have to like judge where we stand.
Absolutely. We have
Thank
to
you, Swati, ma'am. Well
change.
said.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you
Well
so
said.
much.
Yeah.
Anyone else who wants to share something?
Yes, all are quiet. And there are, I think so. I want Suchitra to speak up because
Yeah.
Suchitra has overcome so much of changes in her life, and she keeps on moving and moving. Suchitra, unmute yourself first. Yes, she has moved on in life to so much, like overcoming all the obstacles of her life. You know, Suchitra, unmute yourself and speak up.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Suchitra.
Good morning, Pooja, ma'am.
Good morning, Suchitra. How are you?
Yes, ma'am. Fine, ma'am. As Seena, ma'am said, I've overcome so many troubles in my life. But okay, let's see what comes next. I've come to that state of mind. But certain times I feel some more motivation should be there in my mind also.
We are there to motivate you, Suchitra.
Suchitra ma'am, like there was this saying on the wall, no? What would you do if you were not afraid? I love that part. If that afraid thing goes away from our life, what would we do? Isn't that interesting? I think we should all write it on our walls. What would you do if you were not afraid? So share with us some changes which happened and how you felt. How did you deal with them?
Ma'am, it's something personal.
Yeah. Yes, yes, it's personal. And Pooja ma'am, if this word afraid, if it wasn't there in my dictionary, I would drive a car. I'm so scared of driving a car. Of driving, you have got so much of inhibitions. The moment I sit, I do so many things. Everyone says, "Oh, Seena ma'am, you are bold, you are confident, blah blah la la." So many things they speak about me, but I can't do one single thing. That is, I can't drive drive a car. The moment I sit, I start shivering. So that is one. If it was the word afraid was not there, I think I would drive down to Munnar.
I'll tell you one thing, Dr. Seena, about driving a car.
Yeah.
I'll share this story with you.
Yeah.
I'm one person who was considered as dyslexic in driving.
Oh.
I had dyslexia. You know, when men laugh, no, that women are very bad drivers, I kind of agree that I'm a very bad driver. Till, you know, my husband is in the army, so there are phases when they come to field and then peace and field and peace. So when they go to field, we wives with our children, we have to stay, you know, alone in separate houses. So I was that time posted in Jodhpur, Rajasthan. And I was working in Delhi Public School, Jodhpur, which was around 40 kilometers away. So when my husband's posting came, he said, now you will not be able to get dropped in my vehicle. No driver, nothing. Now you're all by yourself. You can leave your job if you want to. And I never wanted to leave my job that time. So he said, you have 10 days before I go to my new station. If you want to learn driving, you can. But I said, I can't learn driving from you. I can't learn driving from my father or my husband. That is one thing which I'm telling all those who are scared of driving. Please don't learn driving from your husbands or fathers. Others you can learn, they can teach you. So I learned to drive just because it had come on me. Survival. It was like a survival. If you don't drive, you will lose your job.
Right.
So that's the moment now I can drive in Delhi.
Wow.
I can drive in Delhi on roads of Delhi, so you can imagine.
That's great. Good.
From
good.
the dyslexia stage, huh? Dyslexia.
Okay, great, ma'am, Pooja, ma'am. I'm still not motivated. Thank you. Okay, here we have Soumya, we have Richa Arora. Soumya, why don't you speak up? I've never heard from you, Soumya. Soumya, can you speak up?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Hi, ma'am.
Yeah, please speak up, Soumya.
Yeah, to tell from my experience, I was so tech phobic initially, and I had it in my mind, no, this is not my cup of tea. I can do magic in the class, but I can't do in the tech. And from childhood, I have never been fascinated by these video games or computer games. So I love singing, dancing, and my way is all creative. But the thing now, it is imposed on us. There is no other go. We have to learn something. We have to impart something to the children. So slowly, all of us, like everybody, I too have started, I'm now glued to my computer and my laptop and my phone, and always I will be roaming with the gadgets. So that's my state now. So anyway, it's a new learning, because that was the only weakness which I had. Now I thought, okay, God has given me this opportunity so that I work on my weakness. And I don't know whether I can excel in all these things, because still that excel is one area where I have a fear, the Excel sheet and all those documentation things. So I would never excel in Excel. That's the one phrase which I keep telling. But maybe after some days, I may overcome that also.
Yeah, sure. All the best, Soumya.
Thank you. And for this new job, like, we have to train the teachers also. We have to guide them, and we should also take the classes. So it's a tough time for us also. Like, we are actually juggling with a lot of things around us. So thank you, ma'am. Thank you for this book review.
Yeah,
it was
thank you,
really
ma'am.
Fantastic.
Thank you, Soumya. Pooja,
Yeah.
and now we can ask them any questions they have. They can ask, or you have something to say, Pooja, ma'am, so that after that we can wind up and we have another session.
You can ask questions, we can take it, and we'll be happy to.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Yes, Mr. Joshi.
Yes, I want to tell all of you the only two things. From my point of view, the maize journey is equal importance as cheese is important. And second thing, as just a bottom line or a baseline which we want to take from this session, from my point of view, is we always want to become fittest, but the sentence which Pooja ma'am used, we need to become quicker also. We want always to grow professionally, we enhance so many skills, we enhance so many courses, but it should be very quicker and it should be implemented. If this thing I think happen, we can never be afraid to change and never lose our cheese. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and Kritan Joshi sir is from Gujarat, right? And is a principal of Little Flower School. So you can see the kind of different kind of people in our group, right from Delhi. Yeah.
Which in Gujarat are you from, sir?
I'm from Dahod. It is near to Baroda, ma'am, or Vadodara, whatever you know.
Oh.
So anyone from this thing, Nagarkoil school, Rati Haresh, Nagarkoil school?
Hi, ma'am. I am Ishwari.
Ishwari from Adarsh. Please speak up, Ishwari. Please speak up.
Nowadays, we have started to teach online class, but I don't know anything about technology.
Okay.
I want to learn about technology, but I won't try. In this story, I am like a hen. I won't try. But today, surely I will try to find my cheese. Now, at present, technology is my cheese. Sure, I will try to find my cheese. Thank you for your motivation.
Clap for her. You should clap for her.
Thank you, ma'am.
Pooja, ma'am.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, who's speaking?
Good morning, ma'am. Rati Harish.
Rati Harish, please, Rati Harish, speak up.
Good morning, Pooja ma'am and Sina ma'am.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. First of all, I would like to thank to my principal, our principal, Mr. Binu Mohan sir, who is an excellent motivator. He introduced you, and in the care of Sina ma'am, we had a connection with some other great personalities. Today, actually, I hate to read books. I hate means I don't like to read books. And as I am a kindergarten teacher for the past 8 years, for the past 2 years, I started reading small storybooks for my children. And today, the session was wonderful. And Madam told when reading the book, she'll see the book, whether it's a large book or the quantity of the book, less page or more page. Like that, what I decided today onwards, I should read a book. Reading book makes our while reading book we'll get more information and the lagging of words will be reduced. So thank you so much, madam. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rati Harish. And I wish that Sonia Anchantani is new to our group. So Sonia, and she's from Kutch. So she's introducing herself to Kritan Joshi sir also. Kritan Joshi sir, you have someone again from Kutch there. So Sonia, would you like to speak, Sonia? Sonia from Kutch, would you like to speak up? Okay. Okay, over to you, Pooja ma'am.
Hello.
Yeah, Sonia. Yes, Sonia, speak up. Yes, Sonia.
Hello.
Yes,
Sonia.
Sonia.
Am I audible?
Yes, Sonia.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, I was from a teaching field only from last 10 years. But then when I saw students, they were really struggling to find the right goal and the right subject they had to choose. I decided to divert myself to counseling because I thought I could speak to them comfortably, basically. So slowly I started doing it and I took up a counseling course. Now I'm a certified counselor from Global Career Consultancy, University and Los Angeles University.
Wow, that's great.
So I'm a full-fledged career counselor now.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Most of us, when we prompting teachers to, I'm sorry, you want to continue, Sonia? Go ahead.
No, ma'am, I would only like to tell teachers that they have really been doing a very good job from last few months because all this is very new to them. I can understand because I've been a teacher myself. It's not so easy to adapt to the new methods that they are doing. Hats off to them, really.
Hats off to them, really, yes. All the fears which most teachers have, as I see in my community of educators, public speaking. So when we ask teachers to speak up or express, there's a lot of apprehension. I don't know, we somehow feel what we will express, whether it will be right, grammatically correct or not. But I feel that the more you speak, the better you get. So you have to, this is the best platform because you are in a close circle of an academy. So kind of you take the plunge and express yourself as much as possible, because it gives you more courage. With every episode of public speaking, you get better and better. So I think all of us should, whenever given an opportunity, speak up.
Yes. Pooja ma'am, with your conclusion note, you can take a leave because we are having a meeting. Just Mr. Maria Philip will be giving a small session just for 10 minutes. Like, you know, we are giving opportunities to our members to give a presentation just for to develop their leadership skill. So,
Yes.
yeah.
My parting note, goodbye note is accept change, search for your cheese, and you will find it. Thank you so much, Dr. Sina.
Yeah, thank you so much, Pooja ma'am. It was one of the best sessions, I think. Yeah, right. And all I've said is one of the best sessions they have attended. And thanks to you. And it has literally, it has made us think. It has triggered our thinking process. And I think so we shall all look into it, and we shall try to find out different parts in us, the he, haw, and all the parts. Yes. And thank you so much, Pooja ma'am. Would anyone like to give a thank you note? No, one of the members would like to give a thank you note for Pooja ma'am. Would like to express yourself. Come on, leaders. You are going to be the future leaders. You're already the future leaders. Any one of you just give a thank you note to Pooja ma'am. Is Bobby there? Bobby? I'm trying to catch each one of them. Bobby, are you there in the session? Okay. Would like to give a thank you note. Let me catch hold of someone here. Okay.
Hello.
Yes, yes.
Hello.
Bobby? Are you there?
This is Sonia, ma'am.
Okay, Sonia, give a thank you note to ma'am.
Okay. Pooja ma'am, it was really nice connecting with you. It was really nice because there was certain kind of fear in me also. I'm not a very good public speaker, though I'm a career counselor. The first few seconds is a very triggery thing to me to speak in public. But I think I will find my cheese and I will come out as a good public speaker. Thank you so much, ma'am. It was really very motivating.
Thank you and goodbye, everyone.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. On behalf of ACE Academy, loads and loads of love and thanks to you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
ACE Academy people, please don't leave. ACE Academy members, please stay on. Please stay on. Yes, now we go over to, as I already mentioned, that we'll be giving each one an opportunity to just speak up, to give a small presentation for 10 minutes. So it's exactly, I promised you 1.5 hour session. Now today's session will be taken for 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. The session will be taken over by Maria Philip. Maria Philip is from Chennai. He's an educator, I think so, into social study. He takes social studies subject for higher classes, and he'll introduce himself and he'll start the session. Over to you, Philip, sir. Can you all hear him? One second.
Yes, ma'am.
One second.
Okay. I think you are all able to hear my voice.
Yes.
Yeah. A very good afternoon, teachers, and I'm extremely happy to be a ACE member here. Moreover, it's a great opportunity for me to speak to you, and maybe this valuable 10 minutes. And I thank Sina ma'am for giving this wonderful opportunity. And to introduce myself, I'm Philip, and from Batmastri CBSE School, Chennai. So, for your information, I am a little baby to education field. It's been almost 10 months that I joined the school after completing my B.Ed. But earlier I was engaged with the social work. But as an educationist, I am very new. But it's my passion that I need to spend rest of the life with the children. Whatever I learned, the techniques, the knowledge and experience in the field, I want to transform to the children in the form of education. That's why I shifted, and I'm now in the school as a teacher. Today I'm going to just spend 10 minutes, see, and I'm going to speak about how a teacher should be. A few points that what I have come across in my life, so I'm going to share with you. And thank you for the opportunity. And let me share my screen, and maybe we can go.
You can share your screen. I think we have to give you that, make you the co-host.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, 1 second. Philip, we have to make Philip the co-host. Participants, yeah. Philip is here. Yes, Philip. Yes.
Ma'am, it is disabled, ma'am.
No, disabled. Okay, 1 second. Here, please come.
Ma'am, there are two screens, ma'am. I have
Make withdraw co-host permission. No. You're already co-host. You're already the co-host.
Okay.
Just share your screen.
But I'm unable to share, ma'am. I have two entries, ma'am. One is Maria Philip, another one is Philip. So you can make it Philip, so that I can share this.
Philip or Maria Philip? Oh, you have entered. This is Maria Philip. 1 second. 1 second. Give me a time. Where is just Philip? It's his name. Maria Philip is there. Where is Philip? Let's search here. Philip, not Maria Philip. Just Philip. Here. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, you can do it.
I hope you are able to see my screen, ma'am.
Yes, we are able to see.
Yes. Yeah. Ma'am, you are able to see?
Yes, we are able to see. You can start.
Okay. We are going to look at a topic called call. Okay, what is call? See, as a teachers, we have to understand everyone in this world is having a call. So there is a beautiful saying. Many are called, but only few are chosen. Isn't it? So here, very simple. So we can see everyone gets a call. Today, as a teachers, we have got a call. How we are going to respond? The call is a teacher. See, we are going to see two things here I have put up. One is, I am called a teacher, or I am a called teacher. See, there are distinct difference between a called a teacher, a called teacher. See, here we all heard a call as a teacher, but only few were chosen to be a called teacher, isn't it? Always. For example, we take APJ Abdul Kalam. So he has been a called teacher. Okay, or Professor M.S. Swaminathan. So he is a called teacher, a profession which they live till the end of life. They adopt the qualities. They adopt the values. They live from the day one till they die. They adopt. They experiment. They live. That's why they are a called teacher. Which means each and every one of us as a teacher, we are here to be a called teacher, not just a called teacher. Okay, so if we want to be a called teacher, what should we do? Okay, what we have to do in our life, how we have to go. So there are 4 things I'm going to speak about. One is, there are 4 things we need if we want to be a called teacher. First one, commitment. And a second point, aspiring. Third one, learning. And fourth one, listening. See, if a teacher is having these 4 qualities imbibed in them, then he will be surely a called teacher, like many other examples we have in India, APJ Abdul Kalam. Okay, so any other professors, important professors. So, what is commitment? So, what is commitment? We are going to look at commitment. Yeah, here I have put up a beautiful picture. You can see, yeah, 3 types of people. People in the different means. See, if a teacher, if we are entering into the profession, the day 1, okay, the day 1, the first, for example, we take our first love. Okay, always it's very special, and I think it is up to speak here. See, our first love, if we take, we are so committed. Committed in the sense, 100%. There is no doubt, 100%. See, the first day till the end, you will be 100% committed. There is no doubt in it. Okay, every day you will be surprise each other. Every day you take effort. Every day you try to find new things. Okay, you make a life surprise with a surprise. Okay, same way here, a teacher should be committed. Like first love. 100% commitment. From the day 1, he steps down from his profession. If he is 100% committed, then he can be called a called teacher. Okay, he can shine as a teacher. He can survive any situation. So it is very, very important. It's not only first day till last day, you go with the commitment. Okay, next. You see, you look at here, a pass of doubt. See, it's a beautiful picture. It portrays the true love, the true commitment. See, there is a person who has taken a research on this bird. If one bird dies, the another bird will suicide himself, which means the commitment. Without each other, they will not live. That is the commitment. That means we should be like a pass of cow, our commitment. Okay, towards our profession. We should stay always focused, always concentrating our profession or our work. So when we remain with 100%, then there is really a success. We can be a successful teacher. Then we go with the aspiration. The second important value a teacher should have, the aspiration. Aspiration in the sense longing. Always you should long. See, I have given a beautiful picture here with the words. Our aspiration should be like a deer pants for the water in the forest. See, if you go to water, searching for water bodies to drink, be like a deer pants in the water, in the forest. So if we have that commitment, that longingness, that means need for new knowledge, need for new learnings, need for new technology. See, today we have come here. Okay, so far only you are handling in the classroom. Today, the technology is the survival for us. Okay, unless otherwise you learn you fulfill the requirement of technology, or you become a techie, then only you can survive. That means you should be aspiring, always longing. When you long for knowledge, then you are able to make yourself a better teacher. Next, important point, learning. See, as a teacher, we should always learn. Self-introspection is very must. Okay, see, whether you are new or you are old, or it's always our responsibility to take time to introspect how we are doing, whether we are committed or we are traveling on the right track or somewhere we are derailed. And means you have to bring back yourself. That means you have to come back and look at where I have missed. See here, second point, you see, you should be like a child to learn. Okay, you should be like a child. You should not have any pre-assumed ideas. If you have pre-assumed ideas, then that will not allow you to learn. So, as a teacher, we should be humble enough like a child to learn. Okay, next important attitude you should have is try me rather than why me. Okay, try me. That is the attitude. See, for example, you take in any school. If a school management is trying to give you something, always and immediately we be having a thought. Why always management is asking me to do? Why not other teachers? That is the habit you are having. If we develop that habit, then we will not learn. Instead, try me. Okay, why me? Try me rather than why me. So if you develop that habit, always try. Give me, no problem. Let me try. Let me experiment. Okay, I will take up. So if you start with that kind of attitude, then you are learning. And if you want to really learn, there are two things. One is note taking, another one is note making. See, it's always everyone's habit. We forget, tend to forget, isn't it? Even, see, there are, big shots in this group. Okay, so everyone is attending so many meetings, so many webinars, and we attend, but we never tend to do those things. Sometimes we make notes, or we have the habit of note taking, but we never try for note making. So as a teachers, we should have the habit of note taking as well as note taking, which means after note taking, you have to go home, to sit, spend some time and take notes. Okay, make your own notes and add your own experience, add your own knowledge. Then you can become a beautiful teacher. You can improve your language, improve your thinking capacity, improve your communication skills, and improve your interpretation skills. So that's very, very important as a teacher. So that's, finally, there are beautiful words: learn, unlearn, relearn, till you learn. Okay, so these are beautiful words, and they should be within us always. Learn, unlearn, relearn, till you learn. So that's very, very important as a teacher. Then a fourth one, listening. See, it's very, very important. Today, even you take a COVID situation, many children longing that someone can really lend their ears, or whether others can listen. So listening skill very, very important for any teacher. Okay, if teacher is able to imbibe that quality, definitely she can or he can make changes in the class. Okay, so as a teacher, I always ensure that the skill is expressed Always my children come and tell me. I always patiently listen. So when you are able to listen, you can build the confidence in the children. Next one, you should be patient enough in this profession. For example, you say, I have put up here air hostess as a very good example. See here, many might have traveled in an aeroplane, isn't it? So when you enter into the aeroplane, you can see air hostess there. Always they put up smile in their face in whatever condition. Okay, so always they never take away smile from their face. If anyone, as a teacher, it is very, very important. If we are able to put up a gentle smile in our face, we can overcome any problem in the school. Okay, we can handle any parent in school, and we can handle any children or any child in the school. So
Philip,
it is
2 more
very,
minutes.
yes, ma'am. I'll wind up. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
You are going great. Great going, Philip. Great going. 2 more
So
minutes.
that is very important. Finally, final slide, ma'am. And every teacher should be with the vision. So final point, every teacher should be with the vision. They should be visionary. Why? Because if we want to attain certain things, we should be always visionary. Okay, we should visualize something and we need to moving forward to attain that thing. If we want to look for then center of excellence, we should be high thinkers, and we should cultivate their social values, and we should create socially responsible children and instilling confidence to face this competitive world. See, I have put up here a lion. Why, you might be wondering why I put up here lion. See, you take forest. Lion is not the tallest animal, or lion is not the strongest animal, but still lion is able to rule the forest because of confidence. If you are able to have a confidence, if you are able to update your knowledge, if you are able to move towards the world, you are able to rule the world. Okay, so have the confidence and you can rule the world. See, I will wind up with the Bernard Shaw quote. Bernard Shaw beautifully says, see, human beings die at the age of 30, but it takes only 60-70 years to bury them. Which means, if you are not able to update your knowledge, or if you are not able to travel with the world, or if you are not able to go with the changes of the world, then you are lost at the age 30 itself. So if you are able to travel, you are a successful teacher. Thank you all. Thank you for the wonderful opportunity. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Stop your screen share.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, stop your screen share. Let me see all the teachers now. Wonderful job, Philip.
Thank you, ma'am.
Rocking presentation, huh? You should have been a trainer, yeah, trainer, not a teacher. Huh?
Yes.
Yes. Teachers, welcome back. All of you are here. So all of you can just give a feedback to Philip. Now, we have every week, we have someone presenting like this for 10 minutes to 15 minutes. And what we look at 3 factors, I will look at the 3 factors. The first one is how you begin your session. In the center, in the middle part is your content and how you conclude your session. Start your session, the center, the content, and how you end it, and timing also. The time limitation is if I give you 15 minutes means you should wind up everything in 15 minutes. 10 minutes means it should be 10 minutes. Okay. And even your presentation, I think so. You did a wonderful job. I really liked it. Let's all clap for him. Unmute yourself and clap for Philip Place. Great job. Yes. You can hear claps. And can 2-3 of you give a feedback? Who can give a feedback for Maria Philip? Who will give a feedback? Can you give a feedback? Richa Arora, can you give a feedback, please? Unmute yourself. Yeah. Who is this?
Yes. Good afternoon, ma'am, and good afternoon, everyone. I would definitely like to say that first of all, it's a a very big thing. You have to be very confident enough to come up forward to a group and talk and present yourself. And the topic chosen was also very nice. The call word, which he explained, he took an acronym and he explained it very well. So I think now we should all listen to our calling and as he described, so it was very well presented.
Yeah, very good. And any another teacher? Good presentation. That was. The slides also were very apt, very nice, and different versions. Anyone else would like to just speak about the what he spoke?
Hello.
How was the yes, yes.
Hello, good afternoon, ma'am. I am Kala from Adarsh.
Yeah, Kala. Yes, Kala. Speak up.
Very good presentation, ma'am. The sir gave a wonderful point, and which motivates us also to do like this type of presentation. Thank
Yes.
you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you, Kala Raj. Thank you, ma'am. Who will take up next week? Next week, who will take up? Come on, teachers. Who will take up next week? Just 10 minutes of session. Who is me?
Me, ma'am.
Who is me?
Kruta Joshi.
Kruta Joshi. Wow, great. So that you will rock.
Sure.
So 15 minutes time, sir. What we do is...
Sure.
Okay, now there are few things that each one of you, when someone comes to speak up, all of you should have a pad with you. And you should give, after the session is over, you should give him a feedback, positive feedback, and plus points for suggestions. Okay, and what you have to look into his speech. First is how he begins, then the content, his presentation, how he is presenting it, his language skills, how he concludes, and timing. And the moment we say 15 minutes, if you extend 15 minutes, we'll cut it off. Kruta Joshi, sir.
Absolutely, agreed.
And how many times you are fumbling in between, will note down that also. Like repeating the same, your whos, your has, your are, all those, okay, all these things will note down. Okay, how many times you said how many times different kinds of sounds that we make. So we'll note down even the sounds that you make. Is it okay, Krutishar?
Absolutely great.
Yeah. So it's like a feedback we are giving about your session. Maybe your hands, your gesture, how you are doing it. So it will help all of us to be public speakers also. So with this, it's already late. I do not want to extend your time. Sunday, and I'm sure biryani, everything is happening at your place, chicken, mutton smell. Okay. So I wish you all the best. Thanks for joining in, and thanks for being ACE members and placing your trust in Seena ma'am. And my request is, please add on members to our group. We need more members. It's not just being commercial, it's also being uplifting some other teachers. Thank you. Yamuna has never speaks up. Yamuna is sitting with a nice pose there. Yamuna, just 2 words from you, Yamuna.
Ma'am, good afternoon, everybody. And good afternoon, Seena ma'am. Thank you for giving this fine opportunity. I'm really so pleasurable and also happy to be among with you all. As I do little bit of interactions in between, so I couldn't switch on my video. I'm so sorry, ma'am, for that.
It's okay, Yamuna. Where are you from, Yamuna?
Ma'am, I'm from Tirupur.
Okay, which school?
Principal of Jai Shri Ram Academy.
Okay. Welcome. Okay, fine, Yamuna. So how do you think the session was today, Yamuna?
I was really taken up by your speech. What you gave was really very informative for us, and thank you.
Yes, thanks for being a ACE member, Yamuna. Thank you so much. Okay, teachers, all those who like to leave can leave. Anybody else who'd like to have a conversation can join in. So all the best. Take care till next Sunday. Okay, see you all next Sunday evening time. Okay, sorry to disturb you.
Thank you, ma'am.
In the morning. Thank you. Love you all. Take care. Maria Philip, great job.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, give yourself a treat today, Maria Philip.
Sure, ma'am.
Yeah, cheers in advance. Okay, take care. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Those who want to leave can leave, and anybody wants to speak can speak up. Where is this Jai Shri Ram school, Yamuna?
Ma'am, I'm here.
No, where is the school, your school, Jai Shri Ram?
On the way to Darapuram, from Tirupur to Darapuram.
Tirupur to Darapuram. Okay, fine. Good. Okay, anybody like to speak up?
Ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, Yamuna. Please add on more members, Yamuna.
Ma'am?
Add on more members to ACE Academy.
I have told all my teachers about this. As it is Sunday, no, I couldn't, ma'am.
Yes, sure. I do understand. Navya, where is Navya? Sonia, and she is for the first time. Sonia Anchintani. Thank you. Charanjit, yeah?
This is Sangeeta, ma'am.
Yeah, Sangeeta, tell me, Sangeeta.
Ma'am, I want to start up with my online tutor. So can you refer any tutor academy, because no school, no ma'am. So it's difficult to earn also.
Okay.
And, can you
Online
help
tutor
me?
means what you want to do? I didn't get you. Please explain.
So actually, I'm taking chemistry and biology. I'm good in chemistry subject, ma'am.
Okay.
So if you refer any online academy, so I can work as a tutor there.
Okay, teacher, as a you can teach that particular subject.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I can work in that academy, so that slowly I can jump up with my own online academy. Now I don't have any idea about online academy, but I have aim to achieve that.
Okay.
So before that,
So
I
you
want to
do
work
online teaching. You want to do online
Yes,
teaching.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. We'll look into it, Sangeeta. I'll keep in touch with you, and
Yes,
I'll just give you prayer. I'll just check out if any reference. I'll pass it on to you.
Yeah, please help me, ma'am.
Thank you, Sangeeta.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Yes, great talking to you, dear. Will surely help out. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So, okay. Thank you very much, all of you. Shall we leave the meeting?
Yeah,
Thank you. Take care. Have a great Sunday, all of you.
Have a happy Sunday, ma'am.
Yeah, you too. Thank you. Yeah. Leave meeting. Leave meeting.